ear back here, and then your oral cavity, so you put food in, you swallow, whatever, goes down your esophagus. And try to remember your esophagus is inferior to your trachea. So you can feel your trachea, and it's shaped like a horseshoe ring because your esophagus runs behind it. So say you swallow like a big thing of mashed potatoes, that's why you don't want your trachea to be a full ring, because your mashed potato won't go through there. But if it's a horseshoe, it will. So it's going to go down, and then the first thing it comes is into your stomach. And then, so what's important here is from your stomach, your small intestine starts, and this little part right here is called your duodenum. So it's not the stomach, but it's the beginning of your small intestine. It's called your duodenum. Your duodenum is the part of your small intestine that's going to do the most reabsorption. So you have things like water, or glucose, or amino acids. Important things that you don't want in your waste are going to be reabsorbed back in the body, kind of recycled. So that's what's going on in your duodenum. And that'll become more clear when I show you the histology of the duodenum. And then you come down, and all this jumbled in here are your small intestines. So your small intestines, you have your duodenum is the first part, which I already told you. Your jejunum, you're going to have to write in because it's not on here. But jejunum is the middle area of your small intestines. So duodenum, jejunum, and then the very end of your small intestine is your ileum. So in a little bit, I'm actually going to show y'all where those are on the cat, and on your practical, you'll be expected to identify these on the cat. It's not as hard. Once you see it, it'll be pretty easy. Because it's like if I have something pinned near the stomach, but it's not the stomach, it can only be the duodenum, because the duodenum is the first part of it. And then the ileum is the end of your small intestine, and then it goes into your large intestine. Your large intestine is the same as your colon. I never really understood this concept until I saw a picture. But your colon is made, your large intestine is made of 3 parts of your colon, which is your ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon. So your ascending colon is what, the beginning of it is what meets up with your ileum of the small intestine.
Do we need to write that in too?
What?
Ascending colon.
Yes, it should be on here.
It just says colon.
It's on the back page, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
If not, yeah, you need to know it. So go ahead and write in. If you just want to draw it, I drew it next to the colon like an arrow up's the ascending, crosses transverse, like makes a T, descending.
So cecum connects with the ileum.
Yes. So the very first part of your large intestine is called your cecum, and it's kind of actually shaped like a little C. This you can't see it in this picture. But it's shaped like a little C, and what's cool about it is you have a lot of bacteria inside of your cecum that just kind of sit in this little C cup and help like break down your food more. So you have something called normal flora, which is good bacteria in your body. So it's like supposed to be there. So if you have E. coli in here, that's good. But say you have E. coli like in your urinary tract, that's bad. That's more than you need to know. I'm sorry. So it's down.
It's just their toes.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the best way to describe it. You know how cows digest food? There's a word for it. You know how they have like 7 stomachs where it stops in one stomach and like it stops and kind of digests up and then it moves on to the other stomach. It's kind of the same function where it gets stuck on purpose so that the bacteria breaks it down before it moves on more.
The word.
And then what's also cool about your cecum is your appendix is attached to it. So you can actually see the appendix on the cat. Or say you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much pain on my left stomach, my appendix is bursting. No, your appendix is on your right side.
So cecum's where large and small come together?
Correct. So your ileum is into your small intestine, and the cecum is the beginning of your large intestine. And on the cat, you can see a really physical difference between the small tube and the large tube. So if you ever are afraid your appendix might rupture, if you're having any kind of localized pain here, you put your thumb on your belly button and your pinky on the top of your ileum, and where this finger comes down, that should be your appendix. And I've heard also if you lay on a table and someone hits your right foot and you feel pain right there, it's called McBurney's point, McSone's point. That is, that's your appendix. So if that hurts, go to the hospital. Cool. And then ascending, transverse, descending colon, rectum out.
The transverse is this way.
Yeah, transverse goes across. So I'm going to show you all the histology. If you'll look on this, these are actually on tracks already, but this will be under a microscope. We don't have time to look at it today. But this is a picture of your ileum. duodenum. And I told y'all the duodenum is the first part of the small intestine, is the part that has the most reabsorption. So why that's important is you can see how long these microvilli are on your ileum. This is why this structure has the most reabsorption, because it has all this surface area to take in water, sugar, salts, and put it back into the body. So when you're looking at this and you're like, wow, those are really long, it has to be the duodenum. And I'm only showing you slides of the duodenum and the ileum, and you'll see the difference. It's super easy. I purposely do it because it's supposed to be like an easy microscope question.
You said there's a microvilli?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all of this surface area can reabsorb important things. And the duodenum, which is the very first part of the small intestine. So then you can see a difference here when I go, nope, the ileum. Do you see how short these microvilli are? They're like this big compared to the other ones were like that big. So these are really short because there's not a lot of reabsorption going on. Because by time whatever's in your stomach has gotten all the way down to the ileum, it's pretty much going into the large intestine to go out. This is kind of like the last little checkpoint before it's gone forever. That's why not a lot of villi. Page 482 shows a picture of the hepatic duct and the bile duct. That is just going to be something to look at home. If there's something important about it, I'll send out an email with like a description or something to look at, but we don't really have time to look at that right now. Maybe knowing things, if you want to put a note saying the gallbladder is in the liver and it's what stores bile. So your liver makes bile and it stores it in the gallbladder, and then the gallbladder releases it into the stomach to break down your food.
What releases it?
The gallbladder releases the bile.
Into your stomach.
Yeah,
But it's produced by your liver.
it's produced by the liver.
Wait, so it stores the bile or it?
So the liver makes bile and then stores it in this teeny tiny little green thing inside of your liver. And I can actually show you on a cat. So I'll pin it on a cat because you can see the gallbladder really well. I just have to have time to show y'all everything. And go ahead, don't worry about the teeth part. We all know what teeth are and do, so don't care about that. And then this whole page over histology, if you don't tell, I won't tell. I'm only asking about those two slides I already showed y'all. So the histology of the stomach wall and the liver, we don't even have a liver slide. And then the pancreas we've already done. So you really just have to worry about the small intestine histology.
Small intestine.
Which is number 2 and 3 under gastric glands. So right here, this 2 and 3 are all we're going to look at under the microscope. Cool, and then we already did the enzyme lab. So right now what I'd like for you to do